Welcome back to The Big Show, where we talk to the big stars, and frankly, they don't get any bigger than this. Tito Jackson, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much.
Now, what a thrill this is. We happen to be in the same building on the same day. This is fortuitous that you and I are talking, because this wasn't planned.
No, but it's great to talk to you.
And what a life it's been for you. You're a huge star around the world. Everybody knows you. I come in the building today and there's 4,000 paparazzi outside. How do you cope with that? How do you not go insane by them bothering you?
Well, I guess it's the way I grew up with my brothers. You know, we're used to it, and we've been doing this for 40 years, so it's like just part of my day.
I want to talk to you about Michael because I loved him, as did most of the world. And of course, the family have been through probably the hardest time of your life in the last few months. How are you?
Well, I'm doing okay. You know, I'm there to support my brothers and my family, my mom and dad and sisters through these hard days, and hold everybody strong, help each other through these hard times.
Is it nice to know that so many people around the world care and they're interested, or is it, can you leave us alone now?
No, it's great to know that everyone loved Michael and appreciate his legacy and what he stood for, and understand that he only wanted to spread love and give the people great music and great song and dance, and help people who needed help, whether they needed clothing or food or shelter, or even in some people who had health issues that couldn't afford certain operations, he would pay for it. And he's gone as far as to help people through college. He's done so much for so many people, and I think that's a beautiful trait, and he would be rewarded for that in heaven.
It's a private thing, though, grief, isn't it? And every day you're picking up the papers and seeing more and more stuff. Is there a point, do you think, where people will stop writing? Because he's just one of those people, it seems to me, is going to be written about forever.
Well, I've told some friends of mine, and, they wonder why I'm always sad these days. But, and I explained to them like this. I said, if you lost your brother, you would quite naturally, you would be sad as well. But there would be moments when you can just turn on the television or walk down the street or read a newspaper, and you don't have to confront that. But I walk down the street and people recognize me, and that's the first thing they mention. If I turn on the TV and watch the news, that's one of the first things they mention. Or pick up a newspaper or pass a newsstand, I see my brother's picture, get in my car, turn on my radio, I hear my brother's song. It's just been very hard and difficult. So it's something that I feel that I'm very appreciative about how much the world loved my brother. But at times I just wish I can escape and just feel normal again. But I don't think that's possible.
Do you think there'll ever be another one of his ilk?
Well, I've always looked at Michael as something special. Not because he's my brother, but he did do a lot of things that I just felt that was magical. His not just his songs that he sung, but the songs he wrote and performed, and his videos were always clever, and his live performances were like he thought the way he thought was just absolutely different from everyone else. And I don't know if there'll ever be another Michael Jackson or someone that to come along and do all the things that he's done in the music business, but I know he have left some great things for us to enjoy. He definitely put a big mark on the music industry and changing music, and taking video to the next level, and also opening up doors for entertainers today and things of that nature. So will there ever be another Michael Jackson? I think there will be other entertainers that'll do great things, but I think there will only be one Michael Jackson.
What's the best song to sing that you've ever recorded?
One of my favorite songs I have would be I Want You Back, because that was the very first hit record on Motown label that the brothers did in 1969. And 2009 marks 40 years of the Jackson 5, and this is also the 50th year of Motown. So I Want You Back is my favorite song. It's 40 years old, and it still sounds good to me today.
Can you help me with the feeling of being loved and liked and wanted and adored? When you stand on stage and you see that reaction, how does it feel?
Well, it's what I do. It's what I've been doing since I was a very young man. And I don't know what life would be like without it, and I tell my friends all the time, because a lot of them have the everyday 9-to-5 job and that whole thing, and have bosses and the whole thing, and I've never had that type of job where I have to punch in on the clock or listen to someone else give me direction. So to be blessed like this is a great honor, and to be able to do what you really honestly love is a great blessing, and I just enjoy what I do, and I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Was there ever a point when you got sick of singing? Because you've been doing it so long, is it still exciting?
Yeah, well, there was a point when I got sick of singing, matter of fact. After completing the Victory Tour with my brothers in 1985, I took a rest for once in my life. I took a break from my career to find out who Tito Jackson was for the first time. And I took about an 8-year break, and I had a friend that had a local band in Oxnard, California, and they used to practice, and I used to just wanted to play with them so bad because I hadn't played for 8 years, and my brothers weren't planning on doing anything musically, so I started this band I have now called the Bowler Boys, and been performing ever since then. And been going out doing shows across the world, and performing and having fun with it, actually. And being the first time that I recorded and going out as a solo artist it's been great for me.
When you were back in the old days and Michael was stealing everybody else's glory, did that ever matter, or was it always about the family?
No, it's always been about the family, because we were a group, and we were all young, and we all played a very important part in the group, and we all had our as well as a group's fans base, we also had our individual fans. I had young girls that adored me, as well as Jackie and Jermaine and Marlon. And of course, Michael's always been a great talent. He was born to do what he do. I remember the very first time seeing Michael sing, and I remember him trying to join the Jacksons when it was just Jermaine, Jackie, and I. We were young then. We were like 10, 11, and 12 years old, and here Michael and Marlon only 5 and 6 or somewhere in that area. And they're bothering us, trying to come in the room while we're trying to rehearse, and we're telling them to get the heck out the room. You go play with your toys. And until one day we were at an auditorium at Michael's elementary school, and he sung at this play, and we were just shocked by the quality and what was coming out of his mouth. And so we immediately rushed him home and started practicing with him.
In 50, 100, 200 years' time, I truly believe you'll still be played on the radio. How does that feel?
I don't know if that's a fact, but that would be great. And that's one of the things that my brothers and I do recognize, that we've done some great things in the business, and to be honored and inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all these other things, to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, something that'll be there as long as there's a Hollywood. So those are the things that I enjoyed, and I left back for the history of the family and the history of music. And it would be great if my music is played 100 years from now.
Who's been the most important person you've met in your life who's inspired you or moved you or created something new in you?
I would have to give that to my parents. They did a brilliant job of raising 9 kids in Gary, Indiana, which is, at that time, it was a crime capital of America. And they brought 6 boys and 3 girls through there and put them into the music business, and they all did very well. And I think that's very important, and that I give them their props for that.
Is there ever a day in your life where music isn't a part of it?
No, it's not. Only when I took that little break.
When you're in the shower in the morning, are you literally singing from the minute you get up to the minute you go to bed?
If I'm not singing, I'm thinking about what I have to do for the music business. So it's always every day, you're doing something. I already know what I'm going to be doing the rest of the year and leading into the following year. And my brothers and I, prior to Michael's death, we were recording a mini-series for A&E TV entitled The Jackson Destiny, where it was basically stories of what the Jackson brothers are peek into our life. And we were putting together a record and gearing up to do some shows as well, and hoping to someday, after Michael finishes O2 Arena shows, we were planning on getting together once more, and traveling the world and doing music and that whole thing. So after he passed, you realize that that'll never happen. And the brothers and I decided, although it's still 5 of us, we'd never call ourselves the Jackson 5 again, because the Jackson 5 is Michael, Marlon, Tito, Jackie, and Jermaine.
But do you think the remaining brothers may ever get together and perform again under a different name?
If we used a different name, it would be the name that we've been using for quite some years now, and is known as the Jacksons. And I have fun doing what I do. And actually, when I'm on stage and I'm performing, it's one of the happiest moments that I can have in my life. I feel close to my brothers, and the music and the songs remind me of my old days of childhood.
Well, I can assure you, being back on the road, you're coming to Manchester and London and Nottingham, Sheffield, Liverpool, Cardiff and Aberdeen, you're going to feel great warmth, because there's one thing about the Jacksons: we all love you. That's why you're still on the playlist everywhere.
Thank you.
What an honour to talk to you, and good luck with the tour with Gladys Knight.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for speaking to me.
Thank you very much.